Okay, video 5. We're going to be looking at movement and cohesion. One quick update: I've actually found my tarmac roads, which were in the Epic Warhammer 40k box. So I've got rid of those upside down streams that were supposed to actually simulate the road. You can see that now we've got a proper crossing, so this looks like a bit of a strategic village now. Okay, movement is, as we said before, it's in inches. Every unit has its own unit type, its movement type. So these can be like tracked, they can be half-tracked, wheeled, they can be infantry, they can be manhandled infantry, they can be horse-drawn. And each one of these sort of classes is actually recorded on the terrain effects table. So for a tracked vehicle in clear is 1 inch. And you see that one across the top. You have to excuse the reflection. Okay, now certain types of movement are sort of like quarter, for example, or halving, and that's where instead of taking an inch for one movement point, you expend a quarter of a movement point to move an inch. So you'd be moving 4 inches to actually expend a movement point. These are usually for things like wheeled, half-tracks, tracks, vehicles moving along roads. Okay, so you've got your movement type, which is on your data sheet. You see the chieftain there is a tracked with a 9-inch movement. Okay, and you use your terrain effects chart to decide how much you can actually move using your allowance. Now, you've got the ability to double your movement by something called strategic movement. Now, strategic movement has restrictions in the fact that a unit that uses strategic movement can't go into Overwatch, it can't use hold fire, it can't move within 10 inches of a known enemy unit. Right, there was a bit of a break there when I took a phone call for about 10 minutes. Right, what else were we discussing? Yeah, movement. If you're using strategic movement, there's other things you've got to remember. That if you get attacked, you're at a disadvantage. If somebody sort of like fires on you while you're in strategic movement mode, they get a bonus. Other thing to remember is cohesion. Units need to be in cohesion to function properly. If this is all based on troop quality, the worst units have to remain within 2 inches of each other, whereas if you had superb units, they would be up to 8 inches apart. Now, if you break cohesion, you can do it, but you go down 1 level in quality for the unit that's out of cohesion, and also you must move back into cohesion as soon as possible. Quick thing about quality. I'm going to assume that these units, which are hypothetical, are good because British Army of the Rhine and Soviet Guard Tank Division, they'd be very highly trained even though they've got no combat experience. I don't want to make one side better than the other because a quality advantage gives you a massive a massive advantage in the long term because it affects so many other things. I think that's it for movement and cohesion. There are some extra rules for like friction and unit commands, which are optional. They add a little more realism to it, but it's a bit of a rules overhead, so I'm not going to bother with them.